Good morning! It's Monday! I've already been very productive. We've already gone and got coffee. We've been to the post office. I've put a lot of laundry away. Here's a clip of myself struggling with a fitted sheet. Now I'm going to do something I've been dreading doing. I'm going to build a big cartel because I have a bunch of old paintings that I want to get rid of so I can get some storage space back. Even though this space is huge and the storage is dreamlike, I still want to have enough space so I don't have to be anxious about it. So right now I'm gonna get some computer stuff done, and hopefully by the end of the day I'm gonna get some painting done. So let's go. Before I get into some computer work, I'm distracting myself. I found this little tassel guy when I was getting some tacos one night, and I'm like, this would be a cute one, a necklace, or maybe like an earring. So I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want to do with this Charizard. I also have a show in New Hampshire that I have to get ready for. The premise of this being I'm displaying a bunch of oil pastel drawings on this one wall. So I want to have this kind of overwhelming sensation of looking at so much information. But when you have to make a piece that has a lot of information, you have to make a lot of drawings. So basically anytime I have a little downtime in my studio, I'm making drawings for this show. So let's get started on that. Here's what I was able to make this morning. I figured if I keep this pace, I'll definitely make my deadline by the end of August. So one of my favorite tools that I have in my studio is this amazing flat file. Unfortunately, how I got this flat file came under pretty sad circumstances. So I was a retail assistant manager at this store called Artisan Craftsman. If you've an Artisan Craftsman in your town, I highly recommend going because it is the best art supply store. So I was working at the Saugus store, and unfortunately the Cambridge store in Boston was closing. Very, very sad. So as a result, they were selling all the furniture that was in the store, including multiple flat files. My only regret is that I didn't get one more, but for $50, which is kind of unbelievable for flat rate price, for flat files in general, is actually a legendary price. Thank you to Evan for helping me get that out of that store because this is a heavy guy. I just finished up setting up my Big Cartel website. It was actually a lot easier to set up than I expected it to. With that being done and having done a couple pastel drawings as well, I think I'm going to jump into some painting right now. I've got a couple studio visits coming up, so I want to be prepared and I want to have some work to show when some folks come over. So this is how I set up my palette before I start painting. So typically, obviously, I put some gloves on. I've been gloved, and then I remove my plastic wrap from my palette. This just keeps my paint fresh. Not forever, but extends it a little bit. And then I take a look at what remains from my palette previously. I try to save as much paint as I possibly can. This is obviously good for economics, but just to be a smart painter. So I'll see how much paint is still accessible here. So as you can see, I actually had quite a bit of paint that I can still use. All this titanium white is still good to go. Everything else, if you're familiar with oil paint, is kind of more of a skin to it. When oil paint dries, it builds a skin around it, and the paint underneath that is still malleable. So I'm going to clean my palette up and kind of organize what remaining paint, and then after that I'm going to get some more tubes of paint and put down some new fresh paint to use. So when it comes to my palette, I try to keep all of my paints along the outer edges of the palette itself. As you can see, I cleaned it up quite a bit. I try to keep the paint on the outer edges because I want to make this my primary mixing zone. So whenever I'm making a new tone or color, I'm doing that right here, and then it makes it easier because I just end up just going swipe, swipe, swipe like that. Right now, as you saw before, I've got these colors ready. Those are from when I was painting last week. I try to use and keep as much paint as possible. So when I finished painting last week, I tried to not add any more because I knew I wasn't going to paint this past weekend. So I wanted to keep, I didn't want to lose anything. Because at the end of the day, painting is like, paint itself is an investment. Like every time I put some down, I'm losing my medium, my supplies. So right now I've got some cad red I'm gonna put down. Get a little bit going. I'm only gonna put so much paint down right now because I'm only gonna get so much painting done since it's already 3 o'clock. Perfect. Good.
The bin of cilantro at the grocery store, all the little bundles broke apart. So I stuffed this entire bag with cilantro and took one of the tags and paid 40 cents for all the cilantro.
Thank you so much for cooking, love.
You're welcome.
So we just finished up dinner. I'm gonna keep painting, and I think I'm gonna end today's video on that note. So my goals for today are, I want to do some purposeful movement today. I want to plant some cactus pads that we had found the other day. I want to get a ton of painting done. I know we need to go to the grocery store and figure out dinner for tonight. So right now we're going over to this shared co-op space. I'm going to get some computer work done, and I'm going to check out the sewing room, and I'm going to see the ceramics facilities. What are you going to do?
I have some stuff to do in the wood shop. I was very productive.
You know everything you wanted done?
I did. Were you
Good.
productive?
I was also productive. I got all the video editing I wanted to get done. And now, I think you said something about tuna fish sandwiches for dinner?
Yeah, but we're going to the car wash first.
Car wash, and then I think we should go to the Goodwill that's over there too, just to look for some house knick-knack things. And so we're gonna stop at the Aldi, car wash, and Goodwill. I like those. Oh, those are really nice. Do you like these? You don't have to if you don't like.
Is there one or two?
There's 4.
Let me see.
So we're finally home after sitting in traffic for what felt like the entire day. We did end up stopping at the Goodwill. Goodwill had such weird energy today. There was one lady that was just yelling. It was super weird. Anyways, but we did manage to get pretty good luck finding some nice flatware as we were looking for. We really needed some like smaller plates. We have like a couple larger plates, but we didn't really have anything for like sandwiches or snacks or anything. So we got these, and then Evan found these really pretty soup bowls. I love that design so much. And we managed to find 2 without chips on them. So very exciting haul.
Oh, you're such a good mama. Oh my goodness gracious, look at all these kittens that came out from all these flowers. Yay. How's it going? It is Friday. Taking a little break from being in the studio to actually enjoy this decent weather that Texas is having today. Probably gonna see if these guys need to get watered. I think the majority of the day is gonna be spent painting, and then Evan and I do this thing every single Friday where we get fast food somewhere, aka Fast Food Friday. So we're gonna figure out something for dinner later on. I've actually made a ton of progress on this painting right now, so I'm quite excited about that. As I mentioned, every single time I have studio visits coming up, so I really want to get a lot of painting done. I discovered that I actually ran out of Bristol paper, so we're probably going to head over to the new Michaels. That's actually closer to our space to get some Bristol paper so I can keep working. Yeah, that sounds about it. I am back from our little adventure out to get food. We also stopped at a Half Price Books. Now, if you've never been to a Half Price Books, highly recommend. The books are indeed half the price. Surprise, surprise. Since we got back to Texas and since I saw the trailer for the Priscilla Elvis movie that Sofia Coppola is making, I've been on the hunt for the book Elvis and Me because I always love to read the book before I see the movie. So I've literally been to almost every single Half Price book looking for it, and I finally got my grubby little fingers on it. And it comes at the best time too, because I just finished what I was reading and I'm gonna jump into this. So I'm quite excited to read this. And then I figured in for a penny, in for a pound, I got Amadeus on VHS. I didn't get it last time because I was like, oh, maybe, but I was like, if I'm getting a book, I might as well get a VHS too. I think we're gonna have a little cozy night in, have something to drink, just chill. Good morning. So we stopped at this new nursery. We ended up getting some soil here for a pretty good price. And then we followed up with a recommendation and we stopped at this antique place called Reed. I highly recommend. They had a good selection of architectural products and vintage furniture. And then we stopped by our favorite deli in the city to pick up some ingredients for dinner.
Maybe not.
Our friend Jake had recommended Village Bakery to us, so we got some bread. Here's how we styled everything we collected today.